This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. 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 The foundation. The foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything, there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the storms of our past on a solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The foundation.
The Foundation of Hard Grant is brought to you by Alive, Commonwealth Bank, Davinia Grow Foods, Mobile Garage Technologies, and Wendy's.
The foundation. The foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Howard Grant, 96.9 FM radio and The Foundation, chopping it down on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. It's so wonderful to be in your company today. It's a great day to be in the land of the living. Touch me. Talk to me. Let's be very clear about some things. You're tangible. You're here. Had a conversation today about some predestined stuff. And I think sometimes we actually walk about not necessarily knowing. Watch me. This is me. This is my mind, and you can sort of encounter that. I think we have this sort of preconceived notion that we merely exist, not acknowledging the fact that this superficial carnal nature, this can pass away. We got to be able to love, live life, and continue to be able to move in the purpose that we were called to. Talk to me. Let's do that, man. It's a beautiful day. I'm happy to be with you, ladies and gentlemen. The line's going to be wide open. But before we do that, I have a guest that I want to be able to talk to today about something more specific and more strategic. We've been able to have this person on before and to be able to talk about some great stuff that she's been doing. Today, I want to talk more specifically at the top of the show, what they're going to be doing. Now, this is the International Day of the Elimination of Racial Discrimination to Stop the Hate. And we're going to be able to find out more about that this evening over at Thursday, March 21st, 2023 at NAGB at 6 p.m. And we're going to find out more about that from none other than a good friend of the show. I'm a genius in my mind. Talk to me. A genius. Always enjoy conversation with her. None other than Dr. Nyambi Campbell Hall Dean. I always try to figure out if am I putting this in the right order, right? Doctor, I thank you so very kindly for being able to be with us today. How you doing?
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Did I put it in the right? Did I put it in the right structure? Right? Did I put it together properly? Is it
Hall Campbell Dean?
Hall Campbell Dean. Okay, I just want to make sure that I make sure it flows properly. How you doing today?
I'm great. I'm really excited to share this opportunity and this event that we have going on tonight with your listeners.
So tell me a little bit about what's going to be happening tonight, because when you sent me this flyer, my mind started asking me questions. What are you guys going to be talking about tonight? What is it all about? Talk to me about exactly where this came from, where it birthed from, and what are your intentions to be able to kind of get out of there?
Great. So, as you mentioned earlier, today is the United Nations recognized International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination. And so, with that in mind, I don't know how many of us are aware, but we actually have a number of Bahamians that sit on permanent forums at the United Nations. One of those is Gaynell Curry, and she sits on the permanent forum for people of African descent at the United Nations, representing not just the Bahamas, but people of African descent all over the world. And so she was in contact with us at the Bahamas National Reparations Committee and also Equality Bahamas to say, hey, let's do something to acknowledge and recognize this day, March 21st, as the International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination. And so what we decided to do was to host a panel, a forum at the National Art Gallery tonight at 6 p.m. And we're going to be talking about Haiti. How did we get here? Where are we going? How did the history of Haiti contribute to the things that we are experiencing right now and our relationship in the Bahamas to this region? And so we thought that it was important to have a very focused conversation around Haiti. And so in order to do that, we are going to be joined by esteemed assistant professor esteemed assistant professor of history here at the University of the Bahamas, Dr. Anne Ulenton. And she is going to be sharing with us a lot around that history, how that works in connection to what we are experiencing today. And we'll also have some Haitian Bahamians to come and share about their experiences, what they know of this history, and how they have experienced living this history in the Bahamas.
I want to ask you some questions. I got a lot of questions, right? So I want to ask you a few of those questions. One of the questions that come to mind when you start to talk about the International Day for Elimination of Racial Discrimination, I feel like that's a global thing. How did you now concentrate this sort of a global theme brand that's out there? How do you concentrate that on a more local or regional thing and then identify, Haiti as the core of the conversation today? How did you correlate and pull those together like that?
Well, we felt like it was really important to make the conversation local, right? To make it pertinent to what we are experiencing in our region. And so we know that there are so many conversations happening around Haiti and Haitians in the Bahamas. And so we wanted to be able to ground that conversation in a historical perspective so that when we talk about these issues, which are major issues in our country, right, that we're talking about them with the correct information on hand, right? That we're talking about them with knowledge that can help to inform our perspectives on these issues.
I'd like to know, because when I start to think about things like eradication, right? So I don't think of, especially with this international concept, that's a theme, that's a label over the entire thing. I really don't think about just a small area. For our diaspora, for the Black diaspora, the African diaspora that's been able to come out of West Africa, we have suffered or endured a great deal of tribulation over the years, from one level or the other. And we've seen things change from the 1960s with the civil rights movement and spilling into the 70s, 80s, and things changing. There has been an introduction to tolerance from our sisters from the big brother to the north. There has been an introduction more significantly to tolerance. And so whilst we may see this or perceive this to be eradication, this is only under the surface. Do you believe that the International Day of the Racial Eradication or the racial elimination of discrimination will actually stop that. Which elements do you have to really blot out this rather than being able to keep it suppressed? Do you believe that we could eradicate it entirely, or are you just trying to move towards more suppression and tolerance?
Well, I think that when we talk about discrimination, racial discrimination, it's important to note that it's a systemic problem, right? Especially when we're talking about it internationally. We know that discrimination can come, or racial discrimination, specifically in our region, we're talking about racial discrimination against people of African descent, right? Black people. And we know that anti-Blackness is a global phenomenon. And one of the reasons why we did want to talk about Haiti, right, is because we look at Haiti as being the first Black republic, that was one of the impetus to really set this global anti-Blackness in place, right? I mean, slavery was the first part of it, but then noting that Black people could gain their own freedom, what systems, right, were put in place to make sure that no other Black country or a Black colony felt like they could do that too. Okay. And so when we're talking about racial discrimination or eliminating it, we wanted to say, well, how did this racial discrimination, this global anti-Blackness, what are some of the things historically that were put in place to make this a systemic issue, not just an issue of individuals saying, well, I don't like you or you don't like me.
And perpetually systemic, because Haiti continues to suffer or endure a great deal of the tribulation that is brought on them from them taking a stand way back in the 1800s, from them taking a stand to talk about their liberation and freedom way back then as they became the first republic in the region. So I want to know about, because I read this and I don't want to misinterpret, I want to be able to get clarity. I read this and I say to myself, are we as a community racially, do we racially discriminate against Haiti? Is that what this is saying to us? Or are you talking about something global? Are you talking to something much larger? Talk to me about it.
Well, I think that's the questions that we want to ask in the forum tonight, right? Does the race of the Haitian people have anything to do with the way that we perceive Haitians? Does the race of, and we know that race played a big part in what happened to Haiti, right? They were the first Black, not just the first republic in the region, the first Black republic in the world. And so race played a big role in that, in that system. And so those are the conversations that we want to have, right? Since race played a big role in the way that Haiti was treated, the ransom that they were forced to pay for being the first Black republic, what role is race playing in the way that we perceive Haiti now? Yeah.
So tell me this. What is the overarching objective of introducing this conversation into community space? Because there is charged conversation right now about our relationship with, or lack thereof, with, our brothers and sisters. And I got to say it like that, to the South. There is this kind of position as we find ourselves in more of a crunch socioeconomically, and we find ourselves with this kind of a desperate desire to be able to move out of this rat race and out of this proverbial hole. We look around us, and it's something similar to what has happened for me with the advent or the introduction of the Burma Road riot, when they were working shoulder and shoulder and say, how are these fellas making more and I'm making nothing and I can't move forward? And then we see things spiral out of control. What is the overarching objective for being able to introduce this conversation? Should we become, softer in our approach, more open, and possibly being able to assist in what the world seems to be doing as it relates to being able to give a solution to what's happening in Haiti now? Is that the intent right now with this conversation?
I'm really glad that you asked that question, Howard, because our intent is very particular and that is in alignment with the work of the Honorable Marcus Garvey, and he said that a people without a history is like a tree without roots. And so our intent with this program is to inform about the history, right? How did we get here? And once we really understand how we get here, I think that we can have better conversations about what to do about Haiti. How do we interact with Haiti as a country? How do we interact with Haitians as a people, right? When we understand that Aristide, the first elected government leader of Haiti, was removed, right, from his position by France, by the United States, because he was talking about this ransom that Haiti was forced to pay to France and saying, listen, France, we need you to run us our money back, right? We need that little thing, in other words, right? He was one that was bold enough to state that. And because he said that, he was forcibly removed from his position. And we know all of the implications that led, and Haiti has yet to see a stable government really since, right? So we want to be able to have the conversation of where we are in our relationship to Haiti and how, like, right, just walk it back to how did we get to this point and understand it from a historical perspective. And then from that, once that historical perspective has been laid and that foundation is known, then we can move on to our ideas and our feelings and our perspectives and what should we then do.
Is there any I like talking. I like talking like this. I told you I enjoy these things. I really do. All right, because I want to know some stuff. I like to get into it because I want to match up what I've read over the years, the studies that I've done over the years. I remember when I joined College of the Bahamas in the mid 2000s, right, or early 2000s, when I went to College of the Bahamas and I had to do a study on Haiti and write a paper on Haiti. I started to read my paper and talk about the assassination, talk about the deaths, and other students who didn't do what they were supposed to do in the class. I'm one of the oldest ones. And other students who didn't do it, they said, come on, we need to stop being so ignorant. We don't understand these things. And the teacher says, he was a white guy from, I think he was from Oklahoma. I can't remember where he's from. So he says, Howard is absolutely correct. I got 100% of the thing, right? Because of the studies that I've done. And I'm saying this to say, a lot of the people are not studied. They are very superficial in their knowledge, and we ingest a great deal from our communities, from what our parents say. Everything is topical, right? But as we start to do some studies and understanding the relationship that exists between Haiti and the world, let's just be very clear. It ain't just us regionally. It's Haiti and the world. And the disrespect that has been laid upon their threshold to their cities for years and years and years and years, decades. Is there any expectation that even us being more cordial, being more open and acceptant would change the layout and what we're seeing come out of Haiti?
I think so. I mean, I don't know if it would change the layout, but I think that it would set the foundation, right? As we're on the foundation, it would lay the foundation for how we view it, right? It would lay the foundation for the conversations that we have. One of the things that we don't, I think, keep in mind is that when Haiti became a republic in 1804, the country was open to any Black person around the world, right? And they said, once you come to Haiti, you are a free person. You are free. And so when we think about that, 1804, the Bahamas, we were still enslaved.
Yes.
Right? At that point. So if you were an enslaved person in the Bahamas and was able to make your way to Haiti, you would found your freedom. That's a very powerful thing, right? How does that information change the way we think about
and
who we are as Bahamians, right? In relationship to Haitians?
Wow. And 2 centuries later, the entire world almost simultaneously and sort of in a unified state, whether we like it or not, we've done the opposite to Haiti. We've shut our doors to them. We said to them, you're not welcome. We've said to them, we don't like your culture, we don't like your this. And we've never taken into consideration their fight, their commitment. Every time they're talking about liberation and strength of Haitians that exist, there's always this cultural, religious implication of their commitment to some gods that are seen or unseen, and saying, this is why we can't. I just want to know, I really want to know for my lifetime, right? Do you believe that we're going to make any incremental moves towards a richer, more open relationship with Haiti, rather than this kind of an idea that external entities such as the UN says, hey, why don't you guys play better with Haiti? And other entities such as the United States of America that says, hey, why don't you guys, in the papers they start to talk about statelessness, right? And essentially the papers are saying, hey, Bahamas, why don't you guys start to move towards ensuring that you can be able to give these people their status and whatnot? The entire world is urging us locally to take on a position that maybe we're not socioeconomically prepared to do. And I want to know whether or not, is there a view that incrementally, even by one iota step, that we could forge a better relationship with our brothers and sisters to the South as we go forward? Do you believe that conversations like this can help us to move towards that?
I think that that's the goal of conversations like this, right? And I think that regardless of where you stand on Haiti, right, or the issue of Haiti, you recognize that we have to have a relationship with this country, right? What that relationship looks like is up for debate. But we have to have a relationship and one in which we communicate with each other. And relationships, good relationships, right? Strong relationships are built around honesty and knowledge, understanding of where the other party is coming from. And so we have to know what this history is, right? We have to be familiar with it in order to build these.
You got to fix your mic. You got to fix your mic.
That are beneficial, that are useful.
You're muffled,
so that
dog.
we can not only have the conversation with Haiti, right, or Haitians, but that we can have these conversations with the United Nations, that we can have these conversations with the United States, with France, and say, okay, well, this is what you want us to do for Haiti, but from our understanding, here is what you actually owe.
Okay. So this is.
So I think it is pertinent
You put
in
on your
terms of
reparation
us
hat.
moving forward.
You just put on your reparation hat, right? And I like that, right? Because when we start to talk about reparations, is the advocation.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. I said you put on your reparation hat. And when you start to put on your reparation hat, we know the relationship with Haiti. We know the relationship with Haiti and France. We know the relationship with Haiti and the United States of America in 1912 during that particular time and period when they came and took $500,000 out of the Haitian banks and put it in New York for safekeeping. We know these particular relationships, and all these countries around us continue to be able to say, hey, guys, why don't you play nice with Haiti? They always seem to come to your borders. Why don't you play nice with them? Is there a conversation that says to the UN simultaneously, hey, when are you going to consider being able to agitate to France and to other spaces to ensure that reparations is paid to these particular persons? Are you having those conversations?
So, okay, I'm sorry. I missed the first part of your question, but I did catch are we having conversations about reparations?
No, well, I was talking about the relationship that exists with Haiti and France, Haiti and the United States of America in 1912 in the very early 1900s when they stormed Haiti, took $500,000 out of the bank and put it in New York for quote unquote safekeeping. We know about those particular things. Is there conversations from your perspective in other reparation committees that says to the UN, that says to France, that says to the United States and other spaces in Europe, hey, listen, when is it going to be an opportunity to pay reparations to this obviously impoverished community, obviously this broken people who've been waiting on this sort of a repay for what you've done to them and what they've endured over the years? Are you having those conversations? You gone? Doc, you with me? Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm hoping that she comes back. I'm hoping that she comes back and we could be able to have this conversation. Is that her on the line? Check her out. See if that's her on the line for me, please. Tell me whether or not we're doing these things. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening is going to be a conversation such as this one to be able to dive deeper into a conversation about, is that her? That's her. Okay, pull her on. Can you hear me, Doc?
I can hear you now.
Oh, my
Sorry
God.
about that.
I appreciate your swiftness. Anyway, so reparations is the conversation, right? I just wanted to know, because I liked how you put on your hat. Is there significant conversation with those persons who owe reparations to not only Haiti, but the entire community?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that we wanted to highlight with this conversation is first to bring awareness about the Bahamas National Reparations Committee, but also note that the CARICOM Reparations Committee was really birthed out of Haiti's fight to get reparations from France for this ransom that they were forced to pay for being the first Black republic, right? And so within the region, it was noted that France basically not only laughed at these requests for reparations, but sort of acted in a predatory, or rather like a bullying way towards Haiti, like, you're not going to get these reparations, and don't even think about it, don't even talk about it, right? Don't even bring it up. And so the countries in the region recognize that Haiti was owed these reparations, and we, in our own countries, are owed reparations from our former colonizers and enslavers. And so reparations is a very big part of this conversation.
Is there an expectation that if, because, biblically, we have a conversation about this kind of an idea that money answereth all things. Do you believe, right, in, I don't know, whatever, if it possibly was to happen in the future and reparations was to be paid to Haiti, to all those in the Black diaspora, do you believe that our position, our thinking would shift and change? Do you believe that the agitation should be for reparations to get those Haitians that continue to be able to spill off their shores into other parts of the world? Do you believe they'll stay home if we be able to fight and agitate for this reparation to be paid?
I think that it would be a part of it, but again, I can't answer that, right? I'm not Haitian, so I don't know what that would actually look like. I do, however, know a number of Haitians who have said that they would love to go back to Haiti, right? And just being someone, having the immigrant experience before, I know what it is to yearn for your homeland, to yearn to go back to the place where you are familiar, where you were raised, where the people speak the language that you do, where there's a shared understanding that sometimes doesn't even need language. I know what that is. So I imagine that if Haiti was a safe place to be, if people were able to educate their children, if people were able to work and make a decent living, that the scores of people that we see risking their lives to leave would greatly diminish.
So tell us about it now. You said Tuesday, March 21st. Tell us about what's going to be happening this evening.
Yes, so Tuesday, March 21st at 6 p.m., that is tonight. At 6 p.m., we are going to be gathered at the National Art Gallery of the Bahamas. You know that this is a very beautiful space, open, a lot of beautiful artwork around, great environment for us to have this lively conversation about Haiti. How did we get here? And how does that connect to this issue of the International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination? We're going to have a panel that includes a professor of history at the University of the Bahamas, Dr. Anne Ulenton. She is published locally and internationally, has presented her work both locally and internationally. And very interestingly, she herself is French and so has a very interesting perspective that I think we would all be excited to hear about the history of Haiti and France and what is owed to Haiti. And so I really encourage everyone to come out and be a part of this conversation that I think is a different conversation than we've been having about Haiti of late. We're going to have some media that we start off with so that we ground the conversation in something very solid, and that we're not just talking from emotion around this issue. We know that it is a very emotional issue, and they say if you want to, see the emotion of Bahamians, then bring up the issue of Haiti, and then you could get to it. And so we're not trying to deny that, but we're trying to ground this conversation in a historical perspective first, so that we can talk from a very informed place.
I love it. I appreciate you giving us a call. Listen, International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination. Stop the Hate is going to be at NAGB, National Art Gallery of the Bahamas, at 6 p.m. this evening. That's Tuesday the 21st. Is there any entrance fee? You just walk inside there?
It's completely free.
It's completely free. You all have any tuna sandwich or anything, Dr. Man?
It's completely free.
You know, black people want to know. Listen, we having all this conversation. My throat lit parched. You got anything? Guys, make sure you go down there at 6 p.m. this evening. Enjoy yourself. Contribute to the conversation. Really be able to know that, in this time, the change that we seek, the approach that we need to take all starts with the conversation. Doc, I thank you so very kindly for being able to be with us. And, the seat is always open to you if you want to be able to come in and talk a little bit more about these things. We look forward to doing that. I thank you, my dear, for being able to do that. So tonight, you're going to be there? You're going to be talking?
I'm going to be there. I will be moderating the panel.
Are you moderating? Okay.
Yes.
So that's good. International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination. Stop the Hate tonight, 6 p.m. Guys, please be there to contribute. And don't carry your offense. People are ready to go. Like you said, they're ready to put on their emotions. Let me go see what they're talking about tonight. Be a part of the conversation. I believe that we can find conversations like these to get us out of this kind of proverbial hole that we're in to find true productivity. Thank you so much, Dr. Nyambi. Go get me. Nyambi Hall Campbell Dean.
You got it.
I got it? I'm so excited now. Come on, talk to me. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take this quick commercial break. 96.9 FM radio. The lines are wide open when we get back. We're going to talk all number of things. This statelessness, this position, FTX, and more specifically, Menace saying that the prime minister is a weak leader. This is absolutely bananas. I can't believe that this man say that. Let's take this quick commercial break and be right back after this.
Foundation.
The Foundation. We'll be back right after this.
The Foundation. The Foundation. The Foundation. The Foundation.
At Wendy's, we are different. We don't just use beef. It's fresh, never frozen. Our burgers are square because we never cut corners. Served hot off the grill with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and American cheese. We believe in fast food done right. Always serving fresh, never frozen beef. Order a hot, juicy Dave single, double, or triple. Made with fresh, never frozen beef. Now only at Wendy's. Different inside and out.
Tired of paying too many bills and loan payments each month?
Shrink your monthly debt payments down to one easy payment with our debt consolidation loan.
It also has a built-in savings that pays you 5% interest.
Inquire about our debt consolidation loans today.
Call 356-7764.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. This is 96.9 FM Radio. Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation. Lines are wide open if you want to be a part of the conversation. I already got a tremendous amount of text here, so we're going to dive into those and read that. But the paper says Rand Stack is thick with information. Make sure you pick up your Guardian newspaper and we could be able to read those things. Statelessness splattered on the first page. And I just find this peculiar. I really do. The numbers to call 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Hit me up on the text 422-4796. I find this peculiar, man, to have a relentless conversation about what's happening. What are we doing about external entities? What are we doing about these persons? Listen, we can't even accommodate ourselves right now. There was a relentless conversation about our responsibility to be able to take care of the people who find their ways to our shores. Yeah, we're doing our absolute best, but every time we try to deal with the first ship, 6 more come. We are overwhelmed in the conversation. If you read this this article about statelessness, even the article that indicates that it's about 60,000 people tops, they indicated it's about 60,000 people who are stateless here in the country being able to deal with these things. But the truth of the matter is that we've had most recently, I think it was a charge d'affaires who's no longer in the particular position over at the Haitian embassy, said it was 150,000. This is bananas. Crazy. I don't want to make this conversation about immigration today. I really don't. The lines are wide open. I had a course to be able to talk about some other stuff that I thought was peculiar and wanted to kind of put out there. I read these stories about statelessness. I read these stories about the police believe that the weekend murders are connected. I read these particular stories and sort of ingested it. I also read the deepening beach club controversy. That's the editorial in the papers today. You can be able to read that. Make sure you pick that up and be able to see that. That's going to be on page A4 today. I read all this stuff, and I had a particular perspective. But when we start to talk about immigration, it just changes the course of conversation because I'm baffled. I'm absolutely baffled to believe that major entities such as the United Nations, who continue to be able to agitate for peace and this kind of a goodwill to all men and so forth and so on, whose responsibility it is to kind of mediate this peace and this sort of tranquility globally. They continue to identify small states such as ours and give us a great responsibility. We don't have the numbers, the volume. We don't have the socioeconomic position. You know where we are from a demographic standpoint, from a financial standpoint, and there is still expectation. What are you expecting us to do? Should we render our sovereignty? Should we render our culture and our position? Should we render ourselves to the feet and to the mercy of all those who seek liberty and independence? Is this doctrine of democracy that you feed the entire world, have you modified us for us to be able to give up the position that we've had, that we hold strong, that we believe in, that we understand to be ours and ours alone? Is our accommodation not enough? I don't understand this. I just don't. I don't. And we're doing our best to be able to be as cordial as possible. to accommodate listen, this is a 2-century-old issue. This is how I feel about the situation. 2 centuries. None of us was here when this started. None of us was here. 4, 8, 12. That is too much. Almost 3 generations, 4 generations, 5 generations of human beings have existed and gone. And we're still dealing with this particular issue. This is crazy. Let's talk about this. The lines are open, guys. I got a text. I just need to know. I'm going to read the text to you. And then I need to know whether or not you're thinking about these people and what kind of dream you had last night. I want to read this, right? It says, blessing my beloved CA. I don't know if you mean me. You send this. Oh, this was for CA. Well, how did it pop up in my show? Anyway, I'm going to read it anyhow. It says, Mr. Renard Henfield with the We March indicated to me, number one, to me, he made one of the biggest mistakes of his life. Think about this. He did not only destroy the public trust and support of massive protests, Renard Henfield literally threw away a golden opportunity he had looked overlooked. With all the backing behind him, he could actually ushered in his own political party in parliament. And he possibly could have even become prime minister and could have even been on a second term right now. Sadly, he threw away all his power, handed over for far less popular leader, and that is Dr. Hubert Minnis, for a little bowl of porridge as a senator post. Man, it's so sad to see Mr. Henfield could have commanded the whole kitchen with many big pots of porridge, but he chose a little bowl. I don't know what CA was talking about. I don't know if y'all was talking about those particular things, but I feel like this was a dream to think about these things. We continue to kind of drift off in our minds to say that who was the closest to being the leader? I keep asking this question. I keep asking this question about who we are as a people, right? Some CA stuff in here. Let me just take this out. I keep asking this question. You know why? It's because corruption has infiltrated and taken over our society in such a way that it doesn't matter who is the leader. The system is on autopilot for corruption. And corruption is the order of the day in our country. It is unfortunate. It is a sad thing, but it has become a reality in our communities. And unless and until we deal with those things from a legislative standpoint and we police and enforce those things to eradicate the corruption that exists on the surface, we will continue to have issues with immigration. We'll continue to have educational issues. We'll continue to be able to have issues that rise in almost every subsector of government because of the seed of corruption that was planted in the minds and hearts of the Bahamian man and leader that led them to this particular position. It's a sad thing. And it's sad that I have to kind of structure it like that. And I know that you may have your own unique view and perspective as it relates to that. But the truth of the matter is that I believe this all leads back to one road, the road of corruption. I just do. I do. I don't believe that we can shake this. And I don't believe that we can look at anybody else, anyone, to say this one could move towards leadership. This one could be leader. They are moving towards a system that is perpetually corrupted. How do we fix that system? And as much as we can be able to point back at our Constitution, and maybe the Constitution could have the ideas and the framework to what do, but once you put the infractions, once you attach the elements of unsure positions and people in there, the only thing that we're going to have is corruption. So whether it's Renard Henfield, whether it's Lincoln Bain, whether it's, listen, the only person we can't see is JC. And who's JC? Jesus. This only could be Jesus. We have to have the political will and conviction to be able to change some of these things. Because Power corrupts, but absolute power corrupts absolutely. We need to fix those things. Let me take this last commercial break and be back at 1 o'clock. I have one person that's going to kind of call in to talk about these things, and then we can get to these conversations. Guys, 96.9 FM radio, Howard Grant in your company with the foundation, being able to talk about these things. Are we talking good? Talk to me. Are we talking good? Are we here, like eye to eye? Are we doing this thing? I feel like corruption taking us over, man. Our governments are showing us every single day that they've been sold out to the highest bidder. And it's a sad thing, man. There's almost no hope for the future. We'll be like Turks and Caicos real soon, screaming for people to come back with belonger status. This is bananas, man. Let's take this commercial break and be back after this.
The Foundation will be back right after this.
The foundation. The foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
On your march.
Carifta is almost here, and Alive has partnered with TCL for you to capture gold at the 2023 Carifta Games. Switch to Alive and get a free TCL 30 Plus or TCL 30 SE on select Alive postpaid plans to share pictures and videos of our Bahamian athletes as they hit the tracks to win gold. Visit your nearest Alive store or mobile van location and come gold with us at the 2023 Carifta Games.
Guardian Radio and the Foundation are on the move.
Bahamas, this one's for you.
SBT, Small Business Thursdays. Every Thursday, the Foundation with Howard Grant will highlight small businesses throughout the country, far and wide. Your products, services, prices, and personality. We want to hear it all. Get your 30 or 60-second advertisement heard on air at a fraction of the cost. We here at the Foundation understand the times and don't want you to be left behind. With Guardian Radio, you reach your specific demographic, and it is unmatched.
We reach thousands daily.
Get your products off the shelf and your services in their hearts. Small Business Thursdays with the Foundation, only on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. For more information, call 302-2300 or the Help Me Howard line at 827-0111. SBT. Small Business Thursdays. Get your business moving today.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
The new Guardian Radio app is here. Listen live to all our Guardian Radio shows and live video stream select programs in our studio. Get information about Guardian Radio shows and our hosts. Send messages including text, email, and even call. All from our amazing new Guardian Radio app. Download it free today in your App Store for your Apple device or Play Store for your Android device. The all-new and improved Guardian Radio app.
Viola gal, can you believe this? We are now the patrol queens of the neighborhood.
We now large and in charge. So we need to check out what's going on in everybody's yard. What about that gun that we know that Junior and his homeboys just ran out? Can we report that too?
Of course we can.
But we could be in deep trouble if they find out.
We need to report what we see, Viola. When you call Crime Stoppers, they just answer your call in Miami.
So then we can report everything? Guns, where they hiding the drugs, who shoot who part of which gang, or who disturbing the peace with the loud music and the motorcycles.
Then our neighborhood will be the best in the Bahamas, and everybody gonna want to come live here. And then our house price will go up, gal.
So what we waiting on? What's the number?
If you see something, say something. Let us all pitch in and stop the crime before it's your time. Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands. Or text us through the Crack Crime Bahamas app. Stop the crime before it's your time.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio, Howard Grant in your company, the foundation on this beautiful Tuesday, March 21st. I feel like it's somebody's birthday that I should know, all right? Is it, or just maybe because, like, you know, it's the 21st. If it's your birthday, I say happy birthday. If I should know that it's your birthday, I say happy birthday to you anyway. I don't know whose birthday it is, but if you're celebrating a birthday on March 21st, I feel like it's a day that I should know, right? Happy birthday to you guys. If you're celebrating that birthday today, you're here in the land of the living. You should definitely be able to give praise and continue to be able to do what you're doing and do it well. With this kind of a style and panache that deserves to be existed. I mean, come on, let's carry ourselves with the kind of pride that our forefathers tell us about that is Bahamian. We don't see it. I feel like we're depressed in one way or another, and we got to kind of shake this off. We got to encourage ourselves in the Lord to continue to be able to do these things like David, to be able to make these things happen. Guys, the lines are open. Let's have good conversation. Let's do this. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-425. Now hit me up on the text line, 422-4796. It says, we, Howard, with all due respect, this conversation is complete foolishness. No country has welcomed and accommodated more Haitians than the Bahamas. What more does your guest want? We cannot accommodate hundreds of thousands or millions of Haitians. Why is this so hard to understand? Right? Hi, Howard. This show about Haiti is irrelevant and rhetorical. Haiti needs to help itself. Bahamians are in a crisis with illegal Haitian migration. Stupid show today, Howard, in all due respect. This is the text that's coming through. It was not the show today. Dr. Diambe Hall Campbell Dean has kind of reached out to me and to say that we're doing these things, and she's a good friend in the show. So I gave her that kind of a space to talk about what they're going to be doing tonight over at the National Art Gallery at 6 p.m. to really be able to introduce this conversation. So essentially, that was just an introductory, but I had some questions. About an overarching objective and what you really want to do. So it's not about that, but anytime you hear Haitians, right, and you know, if the indecency pops out of you, I know you say Haitian, you need to stop it. You need to stop it right now. You need to stop it, right? It says, good afternoon, Howard. Turks and Caicos Island listener. I love your conversation about Haiti. This lady is so refreshing. She's a refreshing advocate. We have been brainwashed by the colonizers to look at Haiti the way that we do, right? Let's go further. It says that a couple questions. Howard, if America and Canada cannot solve Haitians' problems, how in the heck can the Bahamas solve it? We can't even solve our own. She needs to go to Haiti and inform them of their history, not ours. One has nothing to do with the other. Haiti is for Haitians, and the Bahamas is for Bahamians. Also, can she elaborate more on the dedication of Haitians to Satan in 1970 until that country repents and goes back to God? Nothing will get better. That's a text that actually came through. It says statelessness. It says, we will start, let's read the top text. It says, we will start making Haitians take accountability for their state of Haiti today. When will we start making Haitians take accountability for their state of Haiti today? Where he says, no bearing on it. When have you ever seen an outcry about the amount of Jamaicans in the Bahamas? Do we not have a large Jamaican population in the Bahamas? Statelessness. America has 50 states. Let them choose one. of those particular states. Ladies and gentlemen, the lines are wide open today. Please be a part of the conversation. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, or hit me up on the text 422-4796. Let's take a telephone call. Caller on the line with us live. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller. You're on the line with us live.
Hello, good day, Howard.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm fine.
That's fantastic.
My name is Delarice Morrison Howard, and I'm a Bahamian. Now, on the 30th of January, I lose my home. Okay? Never been in the government for nothing. Never wanted to ask them for anything. I lose everything. I went down, asked for admission. I said, Mr. Mitchell, I lose everything. Mr. Mitchell said, Delarice, go to social service. When the social service gave me a coupon of $100 for a family of 7, Howard. Could you believe it?
Hold on, Delarice. Now you're getting deep, and you're getting fast. Now, which constituency where you live in Nassau? Oh, you live in Nassau, right?
As a Foxhill woman, yes.
He's a Foxhill gal. Oh, come on, okay.
Yes, sir. And they consider me as a Matthias Finance.
You've been living in Foxhill. How long you been living in Foxhill?
36 years,
36 years you live here. 36 years, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. And we ain't getting your politics. We ain't getting your information. So you say your house burned down when in January?
The 30th of January.
January 30th. Okay. I think we saw that in the news, 30th of January, 2023, this year, right?
Yes, sir.
How many persons live in your home?
7 of us.
7 of you all live in your home, right?
Yes, sir.
7 persons live in your home. And then give me the age range. You range from which age to which age? How's the oldest? How was the oldest?
The oldest is 22 and the youngest is 4.
Including you. So
yes. I'm 44.
Okay, so 44 to 4.
Yeah.
Okay, 44 to 4, and you've been living there 36 years, 44 to 4 years old, 7 persons in the house. And so you went to your member of parliament.
Yes, sir.
The lover of all Foxhill. You went over to
That's
Fred
right.
Mitchell in this particular. So what was the conversation you had with him?
I talked to him. I told him I lose everything. He turned around and looked at his secretary, whoever was on the side of him, and he said, well, oh, she is an aunt. Oh, that's Adrian. Go to social service. That's the only thing. He ain't even say sorry for my loss. He ain't even say nothing. But these are the people what you put in, my God. What you put them in for if you can't even get help? The people is in need.
So you said
people in need, my God.
They gave
now
you...
every 2 weeks I get a call for a slip just for various. I can't even sleep comfortably because I don't know what they can decide they and give me that paper and me maturing and be out on the streets.
Did you go to social services?
Yes, I did social service. Like I'm saying, every 2 weeks I have to get this letter. So it's still in a peace of mind, Howard.
So did they accommodate you? Did they place you somewhere?
After I've been to the Prime Minister's office, yes, they did. Yes, they did.
So you've been living there since January 30th. You've been living wherever social services has placed you. You and everybody in your house. The 7 of you on.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So is your house partially damaged or absolutely completely damaged? Gone to hell?
Howard. We only left with the clothes what was on our back. Everything is gone. It was a wooden structure. What I tried and build at the age of 21 when I was in the hotel. I tried because I know I had my kids. You understand me? Tried to build a wooden structure. I had a wooden structure and everything is gone. I try to reach out to Adrian White. He tell me get some estimate. I keep texting him, sending these estimates, and still haven't even get a reply from the man. At least answer the people. My God. Let you know what's going on.
So you called Fred, right?
Yes.
You called Adrian, right? You went to the office of the Prime Minister. You had an opportunity to be able to speak to the Prime Minister?
No. Catch Clint Watson going in.
Oh, you...
Catch Clint Watson going in. He is the one that say, no, man, social service is supposed to put you up, do this. But then all the calls I had to go on to just for them to do the right thing.
So Clint take care of you. My God, Clint should run. So Clint could take good care of you. Now, we got to get to this thing now. We got to find out these things. So how are you living now? Is anybody sick? If anybody have any pre-existing conditions, you all have to take medicine and things like that, or everybody's healthy from that?
Everybody's healthy, thank God, because I just keep praying. I just keep praying now. That's the only thing I do is pray.
Okay, so what do you want? Because everybody's listening to you right now.
Okay.
And they understand
what
this issue.
I really want is just some help in rebuilding. Okay? The estimate for the wooden house is $120,000. My granddaddy left us stone house on the Eastern Road, 8 acres of property. The structure is still there right now. Every time I make my 260, I go there and try have somebody try clean it, because every time it costs us, they trying to see what preference you're making to get out of there. You understand me? So that's the only thing I could do. And then in the morning time on Saturdays, I go put little sauce and thing in the back of my car and sell and see what I can make. That's the only thing, because ain't nobody helping you.
You almost cost me choke just now. I just want to let you
Ain't
know.
nobody helping me. I'm a survivor. I built for battle.
I swallow hard when you tell me the house estimate to build is $120,000.
So I did it. All right, how it's a where in the world a black, poor woman like me where you find that?
Listen, I won't come to Fox Hill to see this house. I don't know how big this wooden house is.
And the wooden house only the crack up ground that was left there now. That's it. Ain't nothing there to see. Only the foundation. If you want to see the foundation.
The property is yours, or is it generational property?
Yeah, the property where the house is, what I built was my grandmother's own. The house was mine,
You
but
got
not
papers for
the
it?
property.
You got, so you ain't got no papers for that?
Yes, I got a government plan, a low cost plan.
Okay, so you could build back there.
Yes, I can build back there. I can. I
All
can.
right. Send your location to me on my
Okay.
phone. You know, you and I have been speaking. I will come
Mhm.
look at it, and then I can have a conversation with a couple of people to see if we could be able to do whatever we can do to be able to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there and you want to be able to help Miss DeLaReese in any particular capacity, that's really what the show is about, to afford an opportunity for those persons who come from our community to be able to make some things happen. If we are in this space that we can help that. I want to go out there and see exactly what a $120,000 clapboard house look like. I mean, this must be a palace. I just need to see it. I want to see it. Right? So I'm going to come out there and look at those particular things and see exactly what's what, so we could be able to make some things. DeLaReese, I appreciate your telephone call. Hopefully we could be able to help you. You know my numbers to be able to get out, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to help DeLaReese in her particular capacity, please give Howard Grant a call. 827-0111. 827-0111. DeLaReese, so you said everybody's healthy. You need any food, anything like that? Talk to me.
Yes, sir, Howard. I just was about to call a social service woman to ask her for one slip for some food.
You need something to eat then?
Yes, sir.
So the little 4-year-old ain't in Pampers, nothing like that?
No, there ain't no Pampers. No.
Everybody in school, you got uniform and everything like that for school?
Yes, they get uniform so far, yeah.
So you're just looking for some place to stay because social services look like they get Nancy with you?
Man, listen to me. Yes, sir, Howard.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, baby. So you got my number. Let's give us a call. I told you I would give you a platform to talk about these things because this is what I have. And so I
Yes,
want to
sir.
offer what I have. And anybody else who can be able to assist, we're open enough to be able to hear those things. DeLaReese, hit me up after the show and let's see what we can do.
Okay.
All right.
One more thing, Howard. I put $50 to open an account at JBR, so anybody would like to donate.
JBR?
There's an account open up. All they have to do is say DeLaReese Morrison, and they'll just put the funds right there. Because the only thing I could get is the material, so it wouldn't be no money in my hand, Howard. It'd have to be material.
And you got anybody to bill? You got your own people to bill?
Yeah, I got my own people, with family, they get help. They willing to help. So,
Praise
you know, it ain't labor. It's just getting material, so.
Okay. All right, DeLaReese, thanks so much for giving us a call. We can be able to do as best we possibly can. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Miss DeLaReese Morrison. She kind of called in and talked about her particular position, says that social services, and is this not the cry of so much Bahamian people? This internally, now talk to me, this internally. While we have a conversation of how we're going to accommodate Haitians on the outside, this is bananas to me. Let's take a next telephone call. Calling you on the line with us live, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Robert. How you doing?
I'm good, man. What's happening with you?
I'm great. You hear that lady said a while ago?
Mm-hmm. Which one?
DeLaReese now.
Yeah.
But I called one show this morning, not one, but I thought it was the same thing, you know. It's time we start looking over our people, people. See, I been going, our people going through all kind of tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
You think they can't find home and forth and castle and paying that no bill. They can't buy land. These people talk, these Americans tell Americans, get the Bahamas government $20 billion and we'll take it Haitian. And we don't hate them. Tell them give us 20 billion. Tell the Canadians give us 20 billion. Tell all the people who talk and phone on us, give us some money. See?
Tell them give us 20 billion. Tell them give us 20 billion. Yeah, go
Howard.
ahead.
Yeah, see, that's kind of people being scared of politicians, you know. You think some things going on, and that lady over there who ordered Atlantis, wait, okay, if I take a she'll get slapped out a long time, you know, and run with the country, you know. We got a bunch of weak leaders in this country. You do those shit on the tongue, And then come them.
You cussing on the people radio. I can't let you cuss on the people radio. They can call me. How you let people cuss? You can't do that. So we can be able to do those things. Ladies and gentlemen, please give us a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Hit me up on the text, 422-4796. Let me take a next telephone call. Calling on the line with us live. Go ahead.
But
hey, what's happening, my brother? All is well?
Great. I'm not going to curse.
Okay, praise God.
I don't curse like that. But Howard, I want to say something on this radio today, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't care who get mad with me. Mm-hmm. I don't care who don't want to speak to me. But some of y'all MPs in this country, under the Progressive Liberal Party, under the leadership of the Honorable Philip Edward Brave Davis, y'all need to step up. Mm-hmm. Some of y'all need to pull your socks up. Y'all really need to pull your socks up because, listen to me, Howard, I told you a couple of weeks ago, I ain't no MP. These people calling me with their problems, Howard. Mm-hmm. Help me, Howard. Mm-hmm. This they call and help me do it. I need help myself.
Yeah, but you put yourself in that position.
Yeah, but I put myself in that position for some of these people. For some of these people, Howard, and this is, sometimes, Howard, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know where some of my people come from or they understanding what's going on. You cannot go to the people 1 year before election. You have to go to the people now. That's why they chose us. Some of y'all members of parliament. It's only a few of y'all. Open up your office.
The reason
Open that office up, man.
Watch me do it. The reason why these people keep calling you is because you have a bleeding heart. You have a desire to help them. You make yourself accessible, available to them, and they will continue to be able to call you about that. The politicians, they know the politicians ain't help them. They know that.
But Howard, all hours of the night, my phone ringing. DeWitt, you could help me with that. I need help too, Howard.
Do it.
And then I go into the relevant people to get help, right? And the relevant people looking and ignoring me. But you know something? Let me tell some of my PLP people something today on this radio.
And you still gonna walk with them next election? Tell me the truth.
Yes, that's my party. I will not give up my party. I love my party. I love my leader, and I love the people in my party. That ain't gonna change. But Howard, at the end of the day, if you can't accept me for speaking up for right, then you got a problem with me. It ain't me, It's you who got the problem with me speaking up for right and speaking up for the Bahamian people. Some of y'all members of parliament, y'all really need to go back in those constituencies. Like I said on the radio a couple of weeks ago, come out of them beauty saloons, come from around the glamour life, and go back to your people.
Unless and until you come here with your list of non-performing members of parliament from your organization to be able to speak more specifically with the evidence in hand of what they have not done.
Howard,
Talk to me. Other than that, this ain't no conversation.
If I ever sit on your show,
but you was right here.
From my honest opinion, for people who I feel are they ain't performing,
I don't want your opinion.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Some people in this country will cry.
Do it. I don't want your opinion. I want facts. I want you to be able to
bringing you facts.
Come here.
I'm bringing you facts. I don't open my mouth up unless I have facts. So
Bring the facts.
I have my information from the. You know what I can do? Let me tell you what I can do, Howard.
You know what the way is.
I can ride around Nassau and I can put all you all on guard and all you all PLPs who I told information. This is what you can do. I can ride around Nassau the same week, Mr. Grant, and I can take a picture of every constituency office in this country that is not open. Okay? I am sick and tired of people calling me for help. That's why they elect y'all.
Well, but you know what to do. I got more telephone calls. You know what to do.
All right, have a nice day, bro.
Okay, my brother. You know exactly what to do. As the politicians do. Change your number. I mean, because it's not going to stop. Talk to me. It's not going to stop. No one's going to stop calling you. You've made yourself accessible. You've made yourself open. The politicians have shut themselves off, threw away their phone, threw away the chip as though this was a burner phone and they had a call from some co-conspirator. Hey, is this too much? This is what happens in this country. And the rhythm of this is every 5 years. This is the people that you elect. These are the people that you elect in your constituency. And then you gumbust about how they ain't helping you. And you're mad and angry with them. And you go right back and say, well, what you want me to do? Vote for the F&M? Well, Jesus, what you want me to do? Vote for the PLP? I can't go against my party, Howard. While you're sucking at the corners of your mouth and you can't eat. But our society has created this narrative to say that the only way that you can find things for yourself is if you go through a politician. You don't need them people. Develop yourself, strengthen yourself, go out there and get your own thing. I watch Sawyer Boy on an interview on somebody's show. I don't know whose show he was on the other day. But he did a little clip on his thing and started to talk about how he was welding from 2003. He said he welds in his spare time. He said, I've been welding from 2003. And I said, this is wild. He said, I learned this in BTVI. But you won't go to a politician. Go learn something. Develop yourself, develop your skills, develop yourself in terms of being able to move forward, and leave these politicians alone. They can't give you nothing because they ain't got nothing. I hear somebody say to me one time, 2 poor fish can't fry. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds right. Let's take a next telephone call. Caller, you on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Hey, Howard, what's happening?
All is well, man.
Yeah, you're correct, man. See, I know fellas like them have a good heart, right? But see, the problem is where these political pundits are so loyal to their party, they don't realize they're some of the most selfish people in society. Just how you ask him and then you go in back with that same line and get it, oh yeah, that's my party. See, that's where the selfishness comes in. See, he getting straight.
Talk to me.
That's why people run into him. See, he getting crumbs from the master's table. But he realized how selfish he is because the next man ain't getting up. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's straight, his backside covered, but he ain't worrying about me and you. You understand now? The problem, you had a lady on earlier was speaking about Haiti. Let me tell you something, Howard. There is nothing, that's the mindset of the Haitian people. And when I say what I say, nobody wants to pick up on it. What Haiti needs, they need the food. They need help. What Haiti truly needs, Howard, is education. Nobody wants to say, well, pick up on that, you know. Those people need a massive thing of education. It might take 5 years, it might take 10 years, along with the food aid and stuff, what else you taking over there, but they need to be educated.
Just heavy what you
Notice what the Haitians do when they come to the Bahamas or they go to America. They educate their children. And those children go on to lead decent lives. Haiti needs education. Other than that, there is nothing no man on this planet could do to Haiti other than the Almighty God. Thanks for taking my call.
I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much for your telephone call. This is a text that came through. It says, great show, Howard. But boy, Howard, you could talk, eh? LOL. Shout out from Exuma Keys. We've been sold out. Now, this is a text that's coming through. I'm going to read the whole thing. So it says, shout out from Exuma Keys. We've been sold out. We live in denial that none of these politicians better than the other. If we stop voting in these two parties, we may get a chance, but we've been here too long between two parties. Let's give someone else a try. This is all the way from Exuma Keys, right? Talk to me. This is all the way from Chester Cooper's constituency, right? And so there is an agitation locally and, you know, in the family of islands that says there needs to be an opportunity to give someone else a chance. I don't like that, though. I don't like how we say that. I don't disagree with it, but I don't like how we structure it. You understand where I'm coming from? I don't like how we say, man, you got to give somebody else a chance. A chance to do what? Nobody's see, that's one of the things, and this is the introduction of independence and the way that we receive independence has spilt into the minds and spirits of Bahamian people since then. And you believe that you should casually get an opportunity and don't have to fight for that. No one gives you power. Talk to me. No one. Because you don't know the nature of fighting for something, post 73, you feel as though that this is the natural rhythm that you should be given an opportunity. That, my brothers and sisters, is a lie. It's a lie. I can tell you a short story about my grandmother. I know my grandmother. I love her. And I can tell you what I understand. My grandmother was born in 1928. She was betrothed to this one man, right? She told me this story, right? And her father says, baby, you're marrying this man. She cried her guts out. She said, Daddy, I don't love this man. She telling me the story. She said, Daddy, I don't love this man. I don't want to marry the man. My grandmother says, baby, when that man, me and him finally get married, because she got to do what Daddy said. She said, I cried so much I felt like I was being raped every time the man touched me. That's what my grandma say. Right? I listened to my grandmother. And she said, for the time that we was together, I never get pregnant for him. So it was calling her barren this and barren that, all these particular things, right? And she said she make a deal with the man. She said, you go out and find any woman, or you know how these old women is, I ain't gonna say it on the radio, but how, Grammy, them can structure it. You go find him, I can take care of the children, and I'll act like the baby is mine. A year the man going out, did not have a child. Did not have a child. And the agreement was, if you didn't have a child, then I can divorce you. And so said, so done. Boom. That was the agreement that happened. My point to you. The introduction into the 19th century, into the early 1900s rather, into this particular time, breathed a sense of liberation into the minds and hearts of the Bahamian people. From 1928, 10 years later, 1938, 10 years later, 1948, there was perpetual fights, both locally and globally, that shifted the course of existence in life. And the Bahamians were not left out. This is where the Bremer Road riot came from. This is where the strike came from. This is where majority rule came from. This is where the suffrage came from. This is where the fight for the Bahamians came from. 1973 was the soft years. Huh? You didn't fight for that. You accepted that. And you came home and said, baby, we ain't got to fight no more, which was the biggest lie that you could tell the Bahamian students, the Bahamian children. Your children, that we ain't got to fight no more. That was the perception that was fed to us by the then political organization that we gave power to, that we ain't got to fight no more. You should have never said that to the Bahamian people. We lean on this resilience, and we do not pick up the proverbial arms or the actual arms. We don't pick up the gird our loins to be able to step and understand that despite this concept of liberty that exists here, we still are not afforded the opportunity to step into a true independence as Bahamians. You forgot your fight. And so when we have these kind of conversations about how we can do these things and give somebody else a chance, you've already left the fight behind. And if no political organization, no leader understands the importance of being able to fight from a legislative standpoint with your particular being, then you do not, in my view, you do not should be given an opportunity to be able to move towards leadership in this country. You do not deserve it. Nobody can give you nothing. Nobody give me nothing. Talk to me, let's be very clear. The woman I got, I had to cut up with her for a very long time, and her daddy gave her to me. And she told me the first thing, well, you're so big. You're so big, you're like the big, this is what a woman told me, she said, you're like a big circle. And I like the small letter, like a little small stick, and together we make the small letter A. I said, oh my God, you got jokes, baby. Now listen, sleep on the thing. If you want me, then come tell me. If not, then we could move on. Come on now. We got to know that you got to fight for what you want. And stop with this concept and idea of giving someone a chance. Let's take a commercial break and be right back after this.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
The Foundation. We'll be back right after this.
My business couldn't survive without my credit card machine from Fidelity.
It's fast, convenient, and my clients love it.
My sales increase, and I can track my earnings.
Get your credit card machine from Fidelity today.
Call 356-7764.
The Grand Bahama News is available every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian. Buy your local paper at Freeport convenience stores, Western Bakery, DeGregory's Fine Foods, and Bellevue Gifts. Want to reach your Grand Bahama customers? Then call Barefoot Marketing at 827-4578 or message them for ad rates via their Facebook page. Advertising opportunities now include classified ads too. Keep up with all the latest Grand Bahama news in the Nassau Guardian newspaper every Tuesday.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio, Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation, chopping it down. Let's go straight to the lines. The lines have been lit up for a little while. Thank you so much for holding line. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Grant.
Hey, my brother. What's happening with you?
Yeah, great show. You know, I wanted to get on it, Ms. Campbell, and I love the lady. But, you know, Mr. Grant, thanks for the joke, autopilot of corruption, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, the substrate is breeding an ecosystem of corruption in the governmental system, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we are denying this, you know, but, you know, sometimes, Mr. Grant, I feel so disillusioned until, like, you know, I'm non-verbal. I stutter sometimes, get too emotional, right? I'm not a great orator. I don't care to be host. People talk, but I bounce here and there. Does it really matter? But I like to thank Mr. Mitchell because sometimes he makes sense. And he countered with the fact that Haiti, the people are not stateless. So you had them credit for that because we had to shut that down right away. They are not stateless according to their constitution, which is beneficial to them. With the ambiguity of this citizenship in this Article 7, to me, there's no dual interpretation of it, you know. The fact that we've been sold out and now the chicken has come home to roost.
Mm-hmm.
Immigration is at the heart, corruption is at the heart of this problem here.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see immigration on the ground. The Haitians, not even Haitian Bahamians, the Haitians are moving around without fear.
Mm-hmm.
We've even seen disparaging remarks towards the Bahamian populace.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. So the lady from Turks and Caicos, she can facilitate them, you know, because I just use Turks and Caicos as a case study of the effects of migration because last I heard they had 77 murders per 100,000, which is the highest in the world, they said, or whatever ranking they were. So that's the result of migration. It didn't happen because Turks and Caicos didn't stay the way it was. So we see, the other day it was a guy with a Pierre son name who raped by breaking the woman's house and when rape and rob and whatever it was, right? What I'm saying is, I in the inner city, I on the ground. You listening? Just like when you said you be in the Freeport Howard, I see so much people who I don't know. See, we have lost a sense of community, you know.
Yes.
And so because we don't know who's in the area and we don't know these people and they have no affiliation, we have integrated with them socially over the years. But then you have a resurgence of them now, so we don't know these yet. You see them with the tight shade, some of them bleach out. They even got a prostitution ring going on. They don't even want you to know that. I see a lot of Haitian effeminated men. I saw one they take for a woman and all that they bleach out. Man, listen, these people ain't no different from nobody else. What I'm saying is, let the people speak for themselves. I mean, I thought Miss Campbell was incorrect. How we view Haitians. I don't view Haitians no other way. I've had two. I had a Haitian American girlfriend. I was courting two in the States when I used to live there. Beautiful people. I tired of this counter psychological narrative. You see what I'm saying? That doesn't work, man. Speak for yourself. When you say how you look, I don't view Haitians no other way. What I view is the amount of numbers and how the government is treating my Bahamian people. That's what I'm worried about now. I respect of it for calling the people out. So, but I mean, stop it correct. I don't know who's getting crumbs from the master's table. Give me a big joke, right? I like when Stopper come on, right? But I'm a tradesman with a couple of trades under my belt. I live up these trades, right? Numerous trades, man, Howard. So I'm not able to. I've never signed for a supper, to be honest with you, Mr. Grant. I've never signed for a supper, never gotten any contracts, never gotten anything from any politician or anybody. I work if I get sick, that's it. And so the lady that called Delarice, I was moved by that. And so then, with a situation like that lady's in, people shouldn't have a problem with fusing their efforts to help people. Yeah. It's really sickening to see the level of treatment from social services. Even some of the statements with Mr. Campbell was even mentioning when he was there. But he put a limit on it or whatever. And then you see how they talk to people. They wasting the Gestapo when they're trying to give you a little check for a little something here and there, man. And I see Haitian Bahamian people. Them have businesses. They in the food store with check from social services. I don't know if they have political sweetheart or whatever they have.
Wow.
But for the first time it was said, I was downtown from last year, months ago. I saw mostly Haitians and Haitian Bahamian handing out brochures and flyers, working on Prince George Wharf, working on Bay Street. So the question wasn't surprising when someone in the chat group said that the tourists asked what is our national language. They thought it was French. That's no surprise.
Wow.
So it's more than 60,000. 60,000 is a joke. By 59 in August. And I see people who I knew for all my life didn't know they was Haitian being. But what I'm saying is, the question then becomes, where does their allegiance lie? That's what I wanted to ask Ruby on air, but you all keep shielding this joker. Now he in the lodge creating a criminal network.
Listen, I gotta let you go. You need to stop it. You when you say now he in the lodge, you don't need to stop it, man. Guys, give me a call. The lines are wide open today. Please give me a call. 323-6232, 325-431-6, 325-4259. But you make a good point, man. I mean, there is a very important position. I like how you hit everything, right? In your time that you call. There is a very important position that we play locally. And I think this is design distraction. This is deliberate for us to be able to shift from a narrative. Notice that we're not even talking about what's happening with what's going on over at Paradise Island with the lighthouse, right? We ain't even talking about these things no more, because it's almost by being able to feed these things into the news cycle that the conversations shift on a day-to-day basis. But we need to be able to keep the proverbial feet at the fire to ensure that there is change, reformation in this country. Stop playing, man. Nobody can give you nothing. If the only thing that you're content with is waiting for every 5-year cycle to be able to drink 2 hot Guinness, the devil is a liar. Your children should look at you with disdain with every progressive year of their life as you continue to be able to sit down at the feet of these men that never fed your family, never took care of you, didn't even try to inform you that education is available to you. They want you stupid. They want you in this kind of deprived position to always come shuffling at their feet with your hands out, begging arms. That's what they want you. But you can liberate yourself, because our great-grandparents never did that. They fought. And they ain't scared to do whatever it takes to ensure that we have the liberty that our forefathers spoke of, that they dream of, that the Negro spiritual says is ours, not when we get to heaven, but here now. Let's take a next telephone call. Caller, you on the line with us live. Go ahead. Hello? Guys, please give me a call. Let me see if I can read some of these texts. 323-6232, 325-431-6, 325-4259, or hit me up on the text 422-4796. I got a couple of texts here. He says, the Americans at the U.S. Embassy want the Bahamas to throw out our borders open and let in all the immigrants, particularly of color, quote unquote. So the U.S. wouldn't have to do it. Why don't we give attention to why do we give attention to this foolishness that comes out of the U.S.? Let's see if we can be able to read another one. It says, putting NAD on blast. They need to place proper signage at the domestic parking lot between long and short-term parking and make it clear, please. We talked about this yesterday. NAD, they're saying to you, please put proper signage at the long-term parking and the short-term parking, because we got to pay too much money when we come from our 3-day trip and didn't realize that we were in the wrong slot. It says, Howard, why are we allowing Haitians to introduce terms of the words like racial discrimination, hate, and prejudice to the conversation regarding the influx of migrants into the Bahamas? Please let them know that they are again twisting the conversation, probably to gain sympathy from the foreign entities like the UN and Amnesty International. We do not hate Haitians. We simply love our country. That's a text that actually came through. It says that, truth be told, Mr. Howard, she's in St. Anne's. She needs to go to Adrian White for assistance. They talking to you, Delarice Morrison. She said that she went to Adrian, she went to Fred, she went to Adrian, she went to the office of the Prime Minister, and out of all of them, she was able to get some assistance from Clint Watson, who kind of guided her in the direction that she can go. And says, hey, Howard, I'm going to get a text out early. Davis appears to be an extremely weak leader. I'm certain that the cabinet has already taken a preliminary position on the EIA and other matters, and we are only supplemental to those decisions. Whether it is Miles LaRota or Davis, Halkitis and Davis, fuel on the fuel dealers, or the Hannah Martin Davis, the Prime Minister always seems to be out of step with his ministers, and thus appears to be a weak, very weak leader who flip-flops. There's some information that's coming through. These are texts, guys. You know what to do. It says, hey, Howard, please give DeWitt my number. Help me, Howard. Help me DeWitt my number, please. Right? DeWitt. They want a little piece of the thing too. You then come on here and say you're helping everybody and your line's wide open. DeWitt, give the people a call so they can be able to. Jesus, that's too much. It says, hey, boy, Howard, you can run out there and say burner phone. That's what it is. These politicians got burner phones. That's what they got. They got a phone specifically for the campaign election time, and then they throw it away and take the SIM card out and crack it up and throw it in the garbage as though they are international espionage. This is too much. Let's take a telephone call. Caller, you on the line with us live. Go ahead. Go ahead. Hey.
What's up?
All is well.
Listen, man. When these people talking nonsense with statelessness, we as intelligent people need to correct them, you know. Article 11 in the Haitian Constitution says if they born anywhere around the world, they're Haitian.
You mean Haitian, right?
Haitian, yeah, the people from Hispaniola.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me give them some advice. Go Shirley Street, the Sayers House, and pick up your documents, yeah? Pick up your documents. Furthermore, this refugee status nonsense, right? This, for people who flee in war and political warfare, right? Haiti has about 13 jurisdictions as it relates to provinces. The problem Haiti is experiencing is in Port-au-Prince. You don't have to come to the Bahamas. You could go to Cape Haitian or any other province where there's no political turmoil, you know. And then they try bring the seat. Let me tell you something with us, this generation. Please read now. All right? We read now, my brother. Some of our education might have ended in high school. We might have had a high school diploma. But Google and YouTube is our tertiary education. So this nonsense they be running on with, and this sympathetic vote, this ain't working. Stop coming in our land, taking our property, right? Running Bahamian off the land, building where you want to build, and governments allowing you to do what you want to do, and then you want sympathy from us? The problem the Haitians are facing now, right, is upon them because of the United States and the French. We know the history. Why is the Bahamas taking this problem on? Howard?
Yeah, I agree with you.
I mean, what else? Let me ask you a question. We was helping them for 50 years. What more do they want us to do? Give them our country? Well, from an organic and authentic Bahamian, it's not going to happen. You know why? First of all, God is on our side. Secondly, the Constitution will not allow them to take over this country. Howard, I have a bombshell based on Article 13 of the Bahamian Constitution that is going to come out in short order. Right? It's a bombshell. We've been defrauded. And I challenge any Casey, when I present this, to challenge what I have noticed. This whole thing is a fraud. Article 13 of the Bahamas Constitution, I will prove it's a fraud. I'm not going to say it now because I'm going to document it properly for everyone to know.
Well,
I keep telling you all.
I want you to give me a call when you get it together, my brother.
Howard, I keep telling you guys, as of 2012, June 19th, no person from Hispaniola West can be naturalized as a Bahamian.
Yeah, they can't.
What Keith Bell is doing is treasonous.
Wow.
Treasonous.
Okay.
It's fraudulent.
I appreciate your telephone call, my brother. Thank you so very kindly. When you put your stuff together, give me a shout so we can be able to talk about it and kind of break it down. I always appreciate you guys being able to contribute. This is Howard. I can tell you that the Texans don't live in Exuma Keys. Trust me. We in the Keys applaud what the Deputy Prime Minister has been doing here for us. Right? This is some stuff that's coming. This is Howard. I'm dying here. I'm cracking up. You're so refreshing. Honestly, caps. All right, I appreciate your telephone call. I appreciate your text. This is hi. She bat her eyes twice, and 2 sticks will make 8. You just know how to make me squawk, right? There's never a dull moment. I appreciate your text, right? So it says we need a prime minister that speaks Bahamian. That should help, right? Y'all do way too much. Y'all just do way too much, right? What are you saying? We need a prime minister that speaks Bahamian? We speak English. What are you talking about? It says to be stateless, they have to legally renounce their citizenship. there is no statelessness. All right, let's take a next telephone call. Caller, you're on the line with us. This is the Foundation. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller. You on the line with us live? Hello.
Yes, Howard. How are you doing?
Hey, what's up, Sia?
Right,
Sia Allen.
a couple of things. Let's go back to your power. Okay. Power. As Frederick Douglass says, power concedes nothing without the demand. To that I add, power concedes nothing without the demand. Especially if it comes from the demand of an emasculated constituent. You can't demand nothing from me on your knees.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Bahamians have to do, get
Mm-hmm.
up off their knees.
Mm-hmm.
On this whole concept of education, I hear people say, but Haiti needs education. I agree with the caller that, hey, she's not in disarray. So the conversation we're having is really a disservice to what we try to do in immigration. There's not a country in crisis in the purest sense of safety, etc. However, there is a country that's facing economic crisis that's wholly dependent upon geopolitical forces that has it in its place. So if the Bahamas can't fix its own economy, I don't know how they're going to fix one for 13 million people.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings me to the point of education versus empowerment. Oftentimes people say we need to be educated. You know, the problem with education is how when you die, can you leave your degrees and other things for your children?
Mm. No, you can't.
your
They don't inherit education. Nobody's inherited.
Right, and so that's why, on the other hand, empowerment, on the other hand, which is the process of enabling individuals or groups to take control of their lives, make their own decisions. You know, for us, it means providing the resources, skills, confidence, whatever it is to achieve their goals and aspirations. So what happens is empowered people often demand better education, but very seldom do educated people demand empowerment. And so when you see the true aspect of that balancing, so if you empower people, they'll demand better education for their children and other different things. And education basically is a process, you know, requiring knowledge, skills, values, attitudes through teaching, which we learn in school. But you have training, research, and experience nowadays. So this whole education in school is also a fallacy. But of course, we never have full conversation in context of anything. And this is why you asked the question about why do we have anything done? Because we go from crisis to crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Every single day in the media, it's another crisis, another crisis. Just use an example, right? The whole world around us is changing. I've been preaching this for a decade plus. The two major economies that is being birthed right now today is one that is influenced by artificial intelligence and one that's influenced by climate change.
Mm-hmm.
Both of these sits on a platform called data, for which the Bahamas is the only country in the world today that has the ability to manage data for its privacy, for its sovereignty, and the third one. So we're the only country in the world that can provide constitutional privacy, protection, and sovereignty. So here it is that you have these two global economies that's developing, and we have the ability to control it. We have a prime minister that goes around the world and says that we are the premier spokesman. We have no preparations being made. You have the Minister of Investments and other people, everything, especially in Grand Bahama, your hometown. Prepare ye, prepare ye, prepare you. You have to get yourself ready for this investment that's coming. And so you walk up to them and says, okay, exactly what I'm getting prepared for. There's going to be opportunities for you, and it's going to be entrepreneurial opportunities, there's going to be job opportunities and everything. He says, yeah, can I have the very specifics that you're talking about? They don't know. And so these become just statements as opposed to how, when you're about to start your business, you should anticipate that the employees, especially a multi-million-dollar business, how much employees you're going to need, every position you're going to need to be filled, the skill set is going to be fixing it. Can you imagine you're going to build a $300 million building and you don't know what skills you're going to need? You don't know.
See, Alan, I don't want them to cut you off, right? So I can let you. Let's take this commercial break and get back, guys. We're going to take this quick commercial break and get right back after this.
Carifta is almost here, and Alive has partnered with TCL for you to capture gold at the 2023 Carifta Games. Switch to Alive and get a free TCL 30 Plus or TCL 30 SE on select Alive postpaid plans to share pictures and videos of our Bahamian athletes as they hit the tracks to win gold. Visit your nearest Alive store or mobile van location and come gold with us at the 2023 Carifta Games.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is sort of the wrap up of the show. We got 5 minutes before we get out of here. Let me see if I can read some of these texts for you. Oh my God, I even get texts on my personal phone. Y'all can text the people phone. 422-4796. You didn't blow up my I can't read all that. I didn't even know that was in there. So it says, great show as usual, Howard. What will we say when the U.S. put another advisory on the Bahamas because of the crime pandemic, right? Y'all, should I be afraid of that? I mean, come on, man. Come on. Is that how we're going to... I don't have time to kind of run into this, but I want to talk about this. I'm not going to be threatened into a position that you require me to take. I'm not going... Listen, I can't do it. I can't. If we scream about sovereignty, if we scream about our position, if we continue to uphold our constitutional position and all these things, why do we cower when we have to be able to be stern in what we can and cannot do? I cannot do it. Man, Howard, man, let me $5. Listen, I don't have the $5. Cousin, Howard, I know you got $5. Listen, you're far too pushy, sir. You need to calm down. I don't have the $5. Now, when I get it, I'll be more than happy to consider if I can help you. But as it stands now, I can't help you. I will not be threatened into this position that you want me to take. This is bananas. Let me read another text, right? It says, Howard, good afternoon. Why do these people always bring up the Haitian Constitution? It's making the Bahamians look like we don't understand legal language. How can a country's constitution have any legal authority in our country? The American Constitution gives them the rights. The American Constitution gives them the rights, where are we, to bear arms. Can they come here and do it? No. It's a silly argument. No matter what one country does, it cannot be applied in another's. That's a text that's actually coming through. Let me read a couple more of these things. It says, the slogan, Stop the Hate, turns me off and prompts me not to be interested in going to the event this evening. Right? Because I already know that the narrative will be spun to make all Haitians good and all Bahamians bad. It says, good afternoon, Howard. The caller who keeps talking about Keith Bell committing treason because Haitians can't renounce their statehood is utterly foolish. Firstly, the Haitian Constitution has no power over the Bahamas. If our laws allow for Haitians to be naturalized, I can't read all of this, guys. All right, so we're going to be able to read that tomorrow. We can do that. It says, Howard, when you talk Bahamian, the Bahamian people benefits, it's that simple. It benefits from it all. That's all, right? Okay, I accept what you're saying. Guys, that's the show today. I want to thank you so very kindly for being able to participate and get into that and kind of dive into that. Tomorrow we're going to see if we can have a nice cross conversation, a panel to be able to talk about these things. I'm grateful to you for kind of tuning in. This is how my parents my parents used to say, don't wear your welcome out to your neighbor's good house, right? And so we're talking about these things. There's a lot of texts I got. Y'all loading me up. I didn't even realize that these texts was here. There's even more to talk about the provinces. This is how, Howard, can you send me Miss Morris's contact? I can definitely do that. Ladies and gentlemen, we said that again. If you want to help Miss Morrison, Deloise Morrison, for being able to help in a house burned down with the 7 children and whatnot. She's a Fox Hill gal. Please give me a call, 827-0111. We can be able to do that. It was a beautiful show today. Thank you so much for participating and being able to chop it down and talk about these things. It's about getting ourselves in the position to be convicted and move forward with the fight that exists in us. Forget about this resiliencies. That's going to remain. Let's get to the fight. Guys, stick and stay for Shivago Lang with Z Live right after this. This is The Foundation, guys. You see you tomorrow, Godspeed. Have a great day.
The Foundation. Foundation.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.